Have you ever thought about the fairy tales? This is for girls mostly. The fairy tales that we were taught, like Cinderella, always having to be the one that is unloved, that has to do all of the chores. And then her reward is to get the prince and to practice forgiveness to those who really, really were haters. Oh, we learned that, didn't we? And then, of course, there's the Rumpelstiltskin one that I just posted about, where we make a deal with the devil to get something we want. And then there's a price to pay. And when it comes time to pay the piper, we have to give it something that we really cherish and we don't want to. How to get out of those type of messes, They say that what we have to do with Rumpelstiltskin is remember and learn what his name is and then call him out. That sounds a little bit like demonology, doesn't it? You have to call the demon out before it leaves. And then there's Rapunzel, poor girl, taken by maybe a not so savory sexual female and locked up and made to believe certain things that weren't true, and finally finding out that she could escape that. That's sort of a Matrix story. How to escape the Matrix. You got to grow. You got to grow something, Men grow something and women have to grow something, their hair, and then they have to climb down it to a rescuer. Not that they made any difference, but that they had a rescuer. That's another thing girls are told. Snow White, she was just a sweet little thing, and she had someone who was jealousy. How do you deal with jealousy, They give you poison apples. How do you deal with them? You let them grow old. That's how you deal with them. These stories go on and on and on, and I'm wondering if we aren't going to change the psychology of women. We need to change some of our stories. Maybe Wonder Woman's a good one, and maybe some of those things, Superwoman or whatever. But we need to change our stories if we're going to learn how to be stronger females in today's society, especially if we dissolve the Matrix. That's going to be a whole new line of storytelling. So think about it when you have your kids tell stories like The Big Bad Wolf and Little Red Riding Hood. What are you teaching them? What are you really teaching them? You're not teaching them to be brave. You're teaching them how to be taken advantage of. Spirit of a Sabo.